I was talking to my brother Life the other day, and he was saying him and his wife were sitting in, and they were thinking about this idea about how society at this point is everybody wants to be a millionaire, okay? And we'll just say million right here, okay? So you see it, right? Everybody wants to be a millionaire, right? However, when you take this word, it says Illion, okay? Illion, okay? This in Hebrew is Elyon, or also known as Ha-Elyon, also known as the Most High God, okay? But if you understand Gnosticism, you know that Elyon is actually only one of the spheres inside of Behemoth, and actually one of the lower spheres. I think it actually hits 0.3 in the 7. So this means that in the world, humans are being groomed to just want to be Illions, to make millions. Oh, I want to be a millionaire. And of course, they never achieve it. They listen to silly folks like Gary Vaynerchuk or whatever his name is. Oh, post all day, you can become a millionaire. People like Ty Lopez. Oh, you're going to become a millionaire. And then they adapt this millionaire culture, right? Which is fat cigars and Ferraris and looking like you're worth something and getting your hair and your nails and your tailor-made and all this kind of stuff, right? Because it is a cult of Illion, okay? And this has been going on, right? You're not the first one to try to ride this rodeo. And also, you know that most people never become millionaires. And you know that, okay, so there's only a few millionaires in the reality, and then they act like that they're higher, like they're higher gods or something. They act like they're higher than everybody else. And then, of course, people debase themselves or put themselves lower because they're like, I don't have $1 million. And that's just one of the archons. This is what I'm working on getting at here. So remember, as above, so below. So let me explain that very clear, how also you get these two different worlds, because it will be the world that one goes to, whether they make based on the decisions that they make. So there are two worlds then. There's the world that, so when you're doing something, let's say, for instance, they say you're supposed to store up your riches in the haven. Now they weren't lying about that. Because those people who do anything to get money and debase themselves, they're going to the haven with Elyon. And they're going to live there as servants and slaves of Elyon, okay? Versus, because of that, though, and this is how you have power. When you have unity, you have power. Because if that works that way, then it also lets you know that if your deeds are great and noble, then those deeds too are stacking up somewhere. Now get this, because this is the main point of the entire presentation today. Those deeds are building up something somewhere. And this is where this concept of building in the mansion in Father's heavens and all this was really about, because it's saying when you do something noble and great, what it does is, just like when you get a nasty little attitude and that energy coalesces within the negative side or in distorted side of an archon, so too, when you do something noble, that energy crystallizes and becomes a building block in another space that you would say is the as above. And when you do enough of that, those building blocks form together and they make a house. And then when you gestate or pass through this realm, which everybody is going to do, quote unquote, die, which is the one when you divide and you go lower and then you become a servant to an archon and you live in a haven that you built because of your deeds. Instead of that, you rise into this space that you inhabit, not because you sat on your ass all day, not because you judged everybody, not because you made a bunch of money, not because of any of that, but because you actually were true to yourself, true to your ancestors, the ones that are practicing the laws of maintaining balance. true to your intuition, meaning that you don't need anybody to tell you what's right and what's wrong. You have your own intuition to tell you that, your own discernment. You know when you're doing something that's off. Now you got to go and balance it out. But if you're not balanced, what's going to happen? What's going to become of you? Some people act like that's such a mystery. It's not a mystery. They've just been lying to everybody. What happens is when you partake with them, see, that's what's happening in society because we have been oblivious to how all this works, and we haven't been working for ourselves, working together to actually create things that assist others. We've been working at jobs that create devices that enslave us. We've been making medicines, cars, all these different things that accumulate excrement. So where are you going to go and live if you've been tricked by the inverted, distorted archons? You're going to go and live as slaves in their world.